All right, welcome back, you all. Gonna get back on it, talking about the Iran, U.S., the Israel conflict, and thank you all for coming in, to the live. I guess you can see already, from the prompt, uh, where's the Prime Minister, you all? Where is Netanyahu? Like, he's been off the scene, and there's been speculation that, he's in another country or something along those lines. But then they say there's a video that popped up with him at a coffee shop. And I just don't know how much you can believe with respect to these videos too much now today, whether it was AI generated or not, because there is a real big problem right now with an influx of misinformation based on these AI generated videos, right? But where is the prime minister? And some say, he fled to Germany maybe. And I thought, like, okay, possible. And then as I was reading, it came up that it's not safe for him to leave um, the area in the Middle East that he's in, the state of Israel, because he's a wanted criminal. The International Criminal Court, they have a warrant out for his arrest. So that makes him a fugitive. I mean, am I wrong? But they say because he's wanted by the ICC, they don't think he would, leave the country. It just would put him at, too much risk, at that point. So those things we understand. And then, that brings to the question, is the U.S. protecting a fugitive? I mean, these are just, my observations and my thoughts as, I'm looking to understand from the global perspective what's going on, what's happening out here, right? And we also have to look at Iran's new leader. Like, what are you all's perspective and or, your thoughts around this new leader for Iran? And I know there are mixed emotions around that. Yeah, we understand that there are uh, a lot of mixed emotions around that. We get it. All right. So I think we got folks that, want to come up on, the stage. Let's see. All right, coming out the gate. Who we got? What you want to add to the conversation? All right, if you're talking, I can't hear you. What you want to add to the conversation, man?
E aí, ô vagabundo?
What you want to add to the conversation?
E aí, ô vagabundo?
All right. Okay. So, um, as we're pointing out, at this point, where is Netanyahu? And because he's wanted by the ICC, the International Criminal Court, and some say he wouldn't leave, the state of Israel because nobody knows, or he's been like missing in action. He's, missed several key meetings. But again, like to say, he popped up at some coffee shop, and you all know how they can wag the dog in a minute. And then, like I said, there's an influx of, AI generated videos that are considered to be misinformation out there. So we can't believe too much, of what we see, also. Um, let's see. Let me read. I guess I can read some things based on what I found with respect to what's happening. Okay, wait. I got two folks. I think they want to add to the conversation. Right here. Let me start with May. What you want to add, May? What you want to add, May? Okay. I don't know what these folk be on. They be acting as if they requesting to come up on the stage and then they don't have anything to say. But look, so um, there's an intense spread of AI generated misinformation regarding the conflict, right? Thank you all for reposting the live, do share the live, and it doesn't cost you anything to tap the screen, right? And the Daily Heart Me is up there. I appreciate, all your comments and everything, right? But the stage is open. So here, the conflict between the U.S. and Iran, right? Looking at the influx of the AI-generated misinformation regarding the conflict, then we have those retaliatory strikes on American and Gulf nation bases, okay? And the personal impact on influencers in Dubai. So these are just some of the things that are, happening around the world, okay? All right, so we got Gog Magog. How you doing? Welcome back.
What's good with you, big bro?
All right, welcome back.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, what you want to add to the conversation?
Man, listen. He got bagged.
Oh, is that the word on? Is
Yeah,
that the word?
I mean, he got bagged. I don't know why they trying to like fluff it up. He's dead.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like the last video, they got him all up in the coffee shop drinking lattes. You dig what I'm saying? But everything in Israel closed.
Okay.
You dig? I'm talking about they trying to open everything up, but all of the citizens said no, it's too dangerous. So that's definitely another AI, John.
I thought it might be.
Yeah,
That.
it is. Everything in Israel is closed. I'm talking about Iran bombed the bullshit out of Israel.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's definitely AI. I mean, people sitting up here looking for glitches. You know what I mean? When the fact remain, everything closed.
Okay.
You know? That's just my take on it.
What are your thoughts about as I pointed out, he's wanted by the ICC. And I mean, I heard what you said. I mean, your thought is that, he's no longer with us, but what about the other part that he was wanted by the ICC, which brings that question, is the US protecting, or had they been protecting, a fugitive? And like what does that really say?
I mean, again, when you're dealing with Zionism, you're dealing with a lot of sicknesses. You know what I mean? Like the whole pedophiliac thing. You dig what I'm saying? You're dealing with a lot of sicknesses. So, the sick going to defend the sick. You know what I mean? And our president, you know what I'm saying? Come to find out he like them wee wees too.
Okay, hold your thought. Hold your thought. We're gonna go to Black Grove one, and then we're gonna go to Rofiat. Black Grove one. What you want to add to the conversation?
Afternoon, everybody. I'm still on the plantation right now. I'm trying to wrap the day up.
Okay.
Can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, that's what's up. 47, black American male. Um, like my man said earlier, Zionism, man. I just, I think I don't believe anything the narrative is given. So if they say he's gone, if that's the rumors going around, I still believe he's alive.
Okay.
That it's an automatic thing with me. I don't believe nothing the snow pigs say. So I'm gonna just hit one thing I wanted to say since I see black men in the room. The word masters are the white tea people. They change definitions and words as they go. They can change it, one thing means one day, next day means something else.
Right.
So right now I'm hearing a word, I'm hearing a phrase. I think of Mr. Fuller when I hear phrases. I'm hearing the Epstein class. I'm starting to hear
Uh-huh.
that a lot. You
Uh-huh.
hearing that a lot?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's been popping up on my feed or in these texts and comments
Right,
that
right. They're trying to quietly lull people to think there's a separation. There's a separation between these people they call the class and everybody else.
okay.
There's no separation. You have to use the white tea supremacist and the Epstein class as a synonym. You cannot separate it. So when somebody says the Epstein class, I look at them weird. Oh, you're trying to lull people to sleep. So the question I really had was because of what's going on in the world, do you think of something of a false flag happening on our soil? And if you do, will you believe the narrative that they give you instantly?
All right. Let's go to Raw. Welcome back, Raw. How you doing?
Hey, greetings. I'm okay. How are you?
Good, doing good. So we just trying to figure out
I'm
where
I'm
where is
good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I'm having an interesting connection.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out where is the Prime Minister Netanyahu, and also as I was doing some research, I remembered he's wanted by the ICC, which is the International Crime Court. So it made me bring up the question: is the U.S. like protecting a fugitive? And just trying to get some thoughts on either one of those before we move into Iran's new leader, and then we're gonna get to Mike.
Okay, so what happened was I got up here prematurely. I'm getting ready to go play with my card because I wanted to bless this platform. So I'll be back or not. Let me see if I can get my card. I want to give something. And then also, you already know what my final answer is. I'm central casting all the way. I think that things are being put in front of us to make us to keep us divided. So I don't have any good, strong, heavy evidence or feedback right now because I done messed around and put my mind on trying to bless the platform. And so if I get out, I'm leaving for a minute. I'm not trying to leave, but let me get this straightened out, and then I can have some conversation. Forgive me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. You're always welcome, bro. Okay, let's go to Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike, what you want to add to the conversation?
What up? Okay. So I'm a US-born citizen. I live currently in Israel, so I can answer you about what's going on with his Prime Minister Netanyahu. You don't have to worry about him. He's alive. You're gonna see him on the Knesset in the Parliament in Saturday. No, I mean in a Tuesday. Yeah, where he's got a speech of the Union about the war with Iran. That's about Netanyahu. What else do you ask about if the United States helping a fugitive? Listen, I'm gonna tell you as a Israeli, as a Jew, as a Zionist, also as an American, you should already understand that we don't have a club about what's been written or decided in the ICC or the ICJ. We do not recognize the ICC or the ICJ, and will never ever will. When there is a threat to our sovereignty or to the Jewish people or the entire citizens of Israel, which included also Arabs, Muslims, and other minorities, we will act accordingly, and we will never ever ask permission from people like you or some certain organizations. Sooner you're gonna figure this out, sooner it's gonna be better. We're never ever gonna apologize for our actions or for what we're doing to protect our people. End of story. That's it.
I do appreciate you for being as frank as you have been, and it's obvious, that you all do not care about anyone other than yourselves. And when it comes to international law, since you want to be as brazen as you are, then I guess we can speak frankly. And as it pertains to international law, you all think it doesn't apply to you all, but it should apply to everyone else. And you have a wrong impression that, you are to be the head and or the leaders of the world while you're over there in a land that God did not put you in based on any prophecy, but you are there based on a U.S. military and or British military force, which does not coincide with any biblical prophecy, which puts a disruption between who you really are and or what you truly represent.
Wait a minute. You are a Muslim?
Don't be concerned about what I am. Just
So don't
address
be concerned about my religion, man. It's not.
I'm not talking about religion.
Wait
Respect the
a
host.
minute.
Shut your
Wait a
mouth.
minute.
Respect the host.
Hold on.
You shut your mouth. I will respect the host. You do not interfere when I'm speaking with them. Listen.
No, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about a heritage, and I'm
Okay.
talking about
So
things
let me correct it for you, okay? The Jews.
Well, you can hold on. I'm gonna let you correct. Okay, you spoke. I didn't interrupt you. Now I'm gonna speak, and then you can speak again. We're talking about things that have been taken from people, and then unjustly stood on as if you have a right to act as if you're someone that you're not. Okay? You want to portray yourself to be God's chosen people according to a prophecy, but God didn't put you there. The U.S. military put you there. The Balfour Declaration put you there. The UK put you there. You're not who you say you are according to the Bible. Now you could talk.
Okay, everything that you said is completely wrong. The Jews, I don't know if you're right. You don't recognize the Jews was owner of this land 2,000 years ago, but people like you are interesting and acceptable. The Jesus was Jew living in Israel 2,000 years ago. So there is seriously contradiction in what you thought about Jews and Israelis, okay? We can go in both ways. Historical, biblical way or the current ways. Now, if you have any problem that the Jews return to their homeland, you can send a tell to the UK, former UK, today is a Muslim country, thank God. You can send for Keir Starmer and ask him why Winston Churchill and the Balfour Declaration was opposite. I do not care, I told you before, I will never, ever, we as a people, as a nation, will never recognize any authority to try to restrict us from making actions to protect our people, okay? That's one. Like I said you before. The second thing, I don't care, as I told you before, whether you like it or not. This is a fact. Many people through history, for the 78 years we are existing, or 70 years we return to our homeland, trying to destroy us. Each and every one of them buried in the ground. The last of them is Khamenei, but I promise you it's not gonna be the last. Many real people join them very soon in Iran, Lebanon, and any other place who will threaten Jews or people of Israel. Okay? One more thing. As a Jew, you will never ever hear me saying that I'm the chosen people. I don't recognize this. I don't see myself superior to you or to any other person, okay? This is part of the mainstream propaganda. The Jews are the chosen people. I didn't tell you this, I'm telling you this again. I don't see me superior to you or to any other person in this panel or this live whatsoever. Never. Not me, not my family, no one, okay? So, what you're trying to say is a lie because we are not seeing ourselves as the chosen people, except the people of religion, which is Hasidic, okay? I got a problem with them. In my own country, in Israel, I don't recognize them myself because, unlike me, they don't recognize the state of Israel. They also, like the Palestinians, don't recognize. They religious lunatics who believe this current country, Israel, is a contradiction of God, and until the Messiah will not arrive, we should not exist. So, those people who say they are the chosen people, I don't recognize them also, okay? Don't speak for all the Israelis and the Jews, okay? That's another thing. Now, about Palestine. Palestine never existed in any history of the map. If you can tell me a proof, fictional, not a fictional proof that there existed, and who were there first, the Jews or the Muslims or the Arabs, I promise you, when I'll return to my house in Florida.
Oh, okay, Mike. Okay, Mike. Hold
No,
on. You've been
let me just finish. Okay, one
hold
minute.
on, Mike.
Thank you.
Hold on. You've been going for a minute. Just hold on. I'll let you go for a minute. And I just want to say, just as you don't recognize this or you don't recognize that, I just want you to understand I don't recognize you. You know, I don't recognize them. Okay. And the people that you express to be, we don't recognize you as who you say you are. So it's mutual. So I guess we really don't have any place to go, but you know, the truth will be expressed. And we got somebody new that just came on the stage. Let's give them a chance to speak. King Savant, what you want to say, King? And then we're going to open up the stage if don't nobody else come, just in case somebody else want to respond to anything that we've heard. And I'm gonna ask you guys to be mindful of the TikTok, you know, etiquette, and you know, let's just be, you know, respectful and you know, express our thoughts. But King Savant, go ahead. All right, you're on mute if you're talking. King Savant going once. King Savant going twice. Okay, all right. We're gonna open up the stage. If anybody wanted to respond or add something new to the discussion.
No.
Gog Magog.
Yeah, man. I'm listening to this dude. They're witnessing to all of this madness, and like I'm pretty much almost at a loss of words. But yeah, BB dead. I will like to share that with him. Yeah, I mean, but all that other stuff that he was talking, that's just that propaganda that they're being taught in school because it ain't nothing chosen about them people. I mean, they come straight out of the caves of Europe. Everybody knows that. Yeah, I mean, they can't even
Again,
have.
you're lying. I didn't say "and ever" in this debate.
Hey, Mike, nobody interrupted when you spoke, so I would appreciate it if you don't come off your mic. Let people have their conversation. Nobody interrupted you. Okay, let them have their conversation. If you come off your mic again, I'll just have to remove you. But we want to respect your thoughts, and we want you to respect, you know, the thoughts of everyone that's up here. Let him say what he has to say. All right, go ahead.
Again, them people came out of the caves of Europe. They have no connection to the land. Yeah, I mean, it's illegal to have a genealogy test in Israel because they have no connection to the land. So everything he talking about is just a bunch of rhetoric. You know what I mean? You know, stuff that they've been taught to say. You know, I mean, like, you know, he's not standing on nothing. He has nothing to stand on. Israel looks the way it looks right now because they have nothing to stand on, and they need to just get up out of there and go back to Europe.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, at this point, you know, we have Mike on the stage, and you know, he's protecting the face of what's happening, you know, in the Middle East. So, what are your thoughts about Iran's new leader?
King me?
Yes. What are your
Oh,
thoughts about Iran's new leader?
oh. Well, as I told you, as American, as dual citizen, also Israeli and American, I support any interest of the United States and Israel combined. If the foreign policy of the United States and Israel combined say he is dangerous for our interests in the region, so he must be removed, or is going to respect and accept the United States and Israel interests in the region. What absolutely is not going to happen. Those kind of people are religious lunatics. You cannot speak reason with them. You cannot speak with any dialogue with them. So it's got to be up to full war, total annihilation, no stop till the end. No stop till the end. There is no other option. You see what they're doing to the Strait of Hormuz. 25% of the world's supply of oil is going through this strait, and it's stopping from U.S., Israeli, and Western ships to move oil from the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and Europe. We cannot accept this kind of reality, and again, it must be removed. There is no any other option, unfortunately. I hoped another regime will be better than him. Better dare him, yeah. So that's my main thought about it.
Okay. I do think it's real interesting. You have a strong, perception and or belief that your country, in conjunction with the U.S., can do whatever they want to do. You don't have to recognize anything or anybody, but everyone must submit, to that which you say is the way, policy, or law, and you don't acknowledge, the world court, you don't acknowledge international law. It's an interesting, bias and or paradigm that you present with respect to the world, that we live in. Let me go to Ray. Ray DM just came up on the stage, and then we're gonna go to Fly Bam. All right, Ray, what you want to add to the conversation?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Ray.
I think it's just funny because, you look at the U.S. government and all that, they're all child molesters. How can you follow these people?
Okay. All right. Now let's go to Bam Fly Bam. Thank you for your comments, Ray. Fly Bam, going once. Fly Bam, going twice. You are on mute if you're trying to talk. All right, so we're going to get Fly Bam up out of here. All right. Yep. So, with, that being, expressed, I want to thank you all for coming into the live. Make sure you share the live. Do make sure you repost the live, and just remember, you guys, it don't cost you anything to tap the screen. The Daily Heart Music.
If I can add something, please, in the end.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I'm surprised that you allowed me to speak, although my thoughts, I am respecting this, because unlike you in other lives, because I'm a Zionist and supporting the U.S. and Israeli policy, they revoked me and didn't let me speak, so I respect you for it. Honestly, thank you so much for letting me express my opinion. And if we're going to be another live, I will happily go into your live again. Thank you.
This platform is
Okay,
here.
may I say something before we go?
Okay, hold on one second. I would say this platform is available for individuals to have their thought interrupted, because again, in the end, I'm hoping I can learn something or hear something that I haven't, heard. I just ask that, for everyone that's on the panel, that they are respected and, they can get their thoughts out. Go ahead, Raw. Raw,
I was trying to check it out and I'm having a bad connection. But I was trying to check things out. The young man at the top said that the Iran's new leader is out of here. He's done with the human experience. And so I looked at some of that as well. And that's what it sounds like from different accounts that he's out of here. And of course, some people do celebrate that. Well, we also have jumped into the part about which I don't believe in calling people names, but I do believe in attacking the behaviors, and I might end up calling a name. So I can't say that I just won't ever do that. At the same time, I earlier I did want him to. This was not the platform for it, maybe, but I want if you're gonna throw something out of your mouth like that, I think you should be able to present truth about it. Meanwhile, we have thousands and thousands of children coming back. Everything that's going on, and I know many of us don't understand it because there's some back stuff going on, stuff we can't see in the front. America lies to us, and that executive order from 2011 from our former so-called president turned the news media into entertainment. So there's a bunch of lies that we're getting, and we do have to go to other countries and get their news, and then try to come think, to the best of our ability, bring whatever truth we can agree with, or bring it all together and develop our own truth. In regards to pedos, yes, they're everywhere. And for those, this is a big thing. For those who decided to vote against holding them accountable, that speaks volumes. That information was there for years. I wrote about it on Facebook years ago, and people thought I was very interesting, which I am, and I'm okay with it. But nobody believed it until the media said it. So right now, if we having somebody saying and letting all this information come out, which back then they released the King files, and all these different files they're saying they released recently, they released those years ago. And I'm gonna tell you something: if they wanted to get the man that's in charge right now, they would have been had him, and there would be evidence somewhere. They are not putting out evidence, and I'm waiting on it. I mean, not that I want anything to be bad about him. That's still my president. I claim his ass. But the truth of the matter is, I'm still open for another truth. If it's there, let's put it out there and stop throwing names out there, nasty, funky names that you cannot verify. I think that's wicked, and I think it's weak. I just wanted to say that.
All right, so we do, or let me say, I acknowledge, I'm coming to you, Neil. I'm going to say, I acknowledge that with the Prime Minister Netanyahu, there's speculation on whether he is still here or not. Mike, who says he's in that part of the region or in the state of Israel right now, he says that he is alive and that he was at some state of an address or something along those lines. So yeah, I don't know who to believe or what to believe until it's truly
You
revealed.
know
But
what it is?
we got Neil on the stage. Neil, what you want to add to the conversation?
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
All right.
All right, bro. I don't know. At the end of the day, uh, it's all about, to me, it's about controlling the oil. I think that when we had that war, I think it was in the 80s, when they blew up all the Kuwait oil fields, when we were trying to build the pipeline from there. United States was very salty over that situation because it never happened, and it took years to put the oil fields out. And so, I think that it was a lot of bitterness from that still. But at the end of the day, Iran is like, I think they're trying to be really smart about the situation because they got the war fought where they wanted to fight. They've been saving up for this war for a long time. So they dug in, and they just been just real smart about it because now they got China and Russia uh uh applying them smarter missiles and stuff. So uh it's going to be a long war, I think. And now they got the canal clogged up with bombs and stuff. So they ended up blocking 20% of the world's oil. So with 20% of the world's oil, then you have other countries got to get involved. So there's actually been some thought into this war. You know what I'm saying? And it used to be gold silver. You stack up whoever's got the most. That's the currency that ruled everything. But now there's a new commodity that's been on the market forever, but for some reason, it's a boom field right now that says whoever controls the most oil is going to control the world. And I think that's where we at on that situation. We're trying to control that situation.
Tell you what you just said made me think of that old movie called Doom. And they said the spice must flow. And you know, if I can exchange the spice for, you know, the oil, it's almost like that is a you know, a big issue and or a real deal, you know, right now. So you guys, we're asking about the prime minister. Where is he? And also understanding that um, Netanyahu is wanted. He's wanted for war crimes. I forgot about that. I forgot about that part. He's wanted for war crimes. So it made me say, well, dang, is the U.S. protecting a fugitive, right? And if that's the case, I mean, how can the U.S. claim to be for law and order, and they're saying they're going after, you know, these other world leaders, but here you have someone that has been charged with, you know, crimes, and it appears as if they're protecting this individual. So let's go to Iran's leader, which let's see if I can pull up that image because there's a lot of speculation, you know, around their leader, you know, at the new leader for Iran. I'm see if I can find that image that I have with him. Is that it? Yeah, right there. Okay. So what do we know about the new leader? You know, what do we know about the new leader here? Anybody want to talk on what their thoughts are?
Well, he's definitely upset. Yeah, he's definitely upset,
I don't
and
think.
he laid down some conditions that a lot of people are having a problem with accepting, but they're realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You,
I don't think we really know too much about him. I know that he had left. He was gone for a long time, and then so I don't know. The people are screaming his name over there. We can't trust what our news say because we're not going to get the truth of what's really going on. So, uh, you know, I don't know how we, as Donald Trump, the president, can go in and pick who's going to be in another country. That to me, that's I don't get it. That's just like you being the king over other kingdoms, and you say who's going to sit on what throne. That's got me boggled for a minute. You know, I mean, I understand Donald Trump had to go into office to make all this shit happen. It's written. He's there. God got him there, and that's what I think for this stuff to unfold.
Let's go to Romeo, and then we're gonna go from Romeo. We're gonna go to 181. We're gonna go to 18. Welcome back, Romeo.
Hey, how's it, my brother? Thank you for
What you want
bringing me
to
up.
add to the conversation, Romeo?
Well, it's good that we have a new leader up and running in Iran. But what we came to understand that is that is on hiding. You know, he's not revealing him to public. So maybe that's the new strategy of leadership in Iran, where the new Ayatollah will be running the country from somewhere confined. Probably a fear of being spotted and taken out.
Netanyahu, right?
Well, that's all I can say about the new leadership. The leader is in hiding and
Were you talking
fearing
about
for.
Netanyahu, or were you talking about Iran's new leader?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna put you on hold here for a second. Let's go to who did we say we had? Let's go to 18, and then we're gonna go to Ronnie.
How are you? Shalom Haverim. I'm in Israel, and I am support MAGA, and I support Israel.
Okay. All right. What you want to add to the conversation? We're asking, where is the prime minister? Where is Netanyahu? And also, he's wanted by the ICC, the criminal court. So that brings the question: would the U.S. be protecting a fugitive?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll answer that. He's already flown into New York and met in DC multiple times. I don't see any American agency arresting him. Whether you think it's right or wrong, that's just the truth. He can't fly over Europe, though, that's for sure. But overall, I think he's doing the right thing.
And what is the right thing?
Fighting our enemies, which is in Iran, Gaza, and Lebanon.
All right. Did you want to add anything else to the conversation before I go to Ron?
What was the last part of your question?
The last part of my question, I'm not certain.
I know, yeah, that's my fault.
I'm not certain. I was just asking, did you want to add anything else?
Well, yeah, I remember. He was asked where the prime minister is. Well, there's been multiple videos of him out. There's multiple pictures of him taken by people on Instagram, posting pictures of him. They could say it's a body double or something, or whatever, but there are pictures of him. I haven't seen the Iranian prime minister in about 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. And I'm just saying at this point, there's a lot of speculation. And another gentleman from the state of Israel, he came and said he was seen most recently at a parliament function or something along those lines. So, I'm just inquiring. Okay. And that's the whole point of having this discussion. Maybe someone can come up and provide some fact and or some truth, because there's a lot of speculation, going on. Let's go to Ronnie J right now. Ronnie J, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Ronnie J going once. Ronnie J going twice. All right, we're going to go to Seal Beater, and then we're going to go to Kimala.
How do you do?
All right, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Crazy times, but surviving it despite it all.
It really is a crazy time. What you want to add to the conversation?
I'm a Trump supporter, but I am also an Iran supporter. I feel that we overplayed our hand at the behest of another nation.
Hold on, Seal Beater. Hold on, Seal Beater. You're a Trump supporter and an Iran supporter. How do you even get along with yourself?
Well, I voted for no new wars. And I agree that there's been a lot of rhetoric towards Iran, but that's been demonstrated by both sides, again, at the behest of another nation. I have a nuanced view of the world. I feel that Iran should have the end bombs. It would help them maintain regional stability, considering they have an aggressive neighbor who likes to attack others, who also has end booms. So despite my support for Trump, I don't agree with what he's doing with the Middle East. This is not what I voted for. I voted for no new wars. I voted for us to be intelligent. I voted for us to do smart things with our military, not stupid things. So, just to make it clear where I stand.
Okay. All right. I do like to tell people though, if you voted, you did vote for this. But I heard what you said. I heard what you said. Good, bad, or indifferent. We got Prophecy just came up to the stage. Prophecy, what you want to add to the conversation?
I'm a bit confused. How can someone be a Trump supporter and an Iran supporter at the same time when being a supporter of Trump is actually going and standing against the sovereignty of other countries? So I'm a bit confused as to that. Is the Iranian support just a one-pick support, or is this support then for all countries having their sovereignty and the right for self-determination and self-directive? So I'm confused on that
Confused,
because when
I'm
you
happy to make it clear for you.
Hold on, Seal Beater. Let him finish his thought. Go ahead.
and when we look at what Trump is doing domestically to the US, it is hard for me to understand how. I mean, we see the support dwindle down to what, 30-something% of the people supporting Trump, and when we look at the Epstein files and the accusations that are led against him with the tax evasion, when we look at all the other corruption charges that are levied against him, and when we look at what it is that he's currently doing to the U.S. economy and actually gutting it and putting it, restructuring it in the hands of the billionaire conglomerates. I don't see how the ordinary American can stand in support of that, knowing that what they are going to be left with is an empty shell of a country and a big bag of debt to recoup and to rebuild the country. It is going to be astronomically expensive for the Americans in order to rebuild back America to some semblance of normalcy and of what we would call now the ideology of America and the infrastructure that is so badly needed in upgrade, right, all across the country. How can one stand in support of that, seeing the country finances gutted and actually taken? That's what I have to ask.
Okay, man. And say one thing with respect to how you point out the self-determination and or the autonomy of one country and how another country feel as if they can go in and just, take that away from them, which, brings me to a point where right here in America, we're fighting and or looking to reclaim, our autonomy and self-determination through decolonization. And for some, that's a brand new concept, but it's been on the books and around for a very long time. And, a number of us are moving, in that direction, as well. But you're right. People should have the right to their sovereignty, self-determination, and not be unlawfully restricted and or invaded. So I'm gonna open up the stage, right here. I think Seal Beater wanted to respond or rebuttal to something you were saying. Go ahead, Seal Beater.
Well, there was a lot to say, and most of it, I think, was empty platitudes and talking points without real substance to them. But to speak on the sovereignty issue, I think that in this world, there are powerful nations and weaker nations. And while idealistically every nation should have the right to self-determination, the facts remain that as a stronger nation, sometimes we do have to use our military to advance our national interests. Like, to speak Venezuela, I thought was a perfect textbook example of how we should use our military. Go in, go out, take out the leader, very little civilian damage, no carpet bombing, no going after civilian infrastructure, none of that. Just in and out, we're done. What we're doing in Iran is foolish. And what we're doing is foolish because it's at the behest of another nation.
But what I'm asking is, what gave the right to go into Venezuela?
The fact that we have the military might to do so. Might makes right, no matter how you feel about it.
Hold on, Seal Beater. Hold on, Seal Beater. Let me explain something, guys. When someone is talking, I want you all to give them the respect to finish their thoughts. Don't just come up off your mic out of emotion. Okay, I'll for the most part, I'll let you chime in, or if I really do see something organic happening, I can let that happen. But let's try to, show a little bit of discipline, on the stage, and let people finish their thoughts. So, Seal Beater, were you done, with your thought before prophecy rebuttal?
Well, my main point is to say that I agree with Trump on most of his domestic issues, as far as the tariffs go, as far as the deficit spending goes. Our entire system is built up on debt. No, I don't support that. I wish we would get off of it, but I favor deficit spending over inflation. I think it's better to be in debt to another nation than to debase your own currency, which was also happening under the Biden administration. There were a lot of things going on. I'm very anti being enthralled to other nations, but at the time when I voted for Trump, it was one factor among many, and it did not factor in enough for me to affect my vote. But I can say in the next election cycle, I think most Americans, that's going to be a factor.
See, well, hold on. Let me see, because we do have other folks on the stage. Did anybody else want to respond to anything that has been said? And then after that, we're going to go to Jack A. Mehoff.
Well,
Yes,
so
go ahead.
my question is, is it so it
Hold on, Prophecy. Let Neil have a chance to respond. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, I just want to add, it just doesn't make sense financially for the United States to even be in this war, because it's costing us hundreds of millions to billions of dollars a day, and it's only costing Iran a few $1 million in the weapons that they're using. And
Well, Neil, you're not in a position to make that determination.
well, the news had said it.
Hey,
So
hold on, Neil.
Right, but you don't understand.
Neil,
Listen,
hold on
the
one
news hates
second,
Trump.
Neil.
I get it, but you don't know. This is a well-needed.
So Jack
This is
A.
well-needed. Well-needed. Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
going to kick you off the stage, Jack A. If you can't maintain yourself, I'm gonna let you
Well,
talk.
I'm just having a conversation with him. Which prime minister? Which prime minister are you looking for?
Okay. See, that's the type of undisciplined individual that we're not going to have up on the stage. I mean, you all have seen there are people that come up here with, opposing views, and they're well respected. They get their point out. But people like that we're just not going to tolerate. So Neil, go ahead and finish your thought.
oil. That's the only way we're going to be able to profit it back from this war, is to control the oil flow. I don't know what anyone else sees. Okay. Saudi's right there. Saudi, we have a couple bases there in Saudi, but they closing them down. So the only way I see that we'll be able to recoup is through the oil, to control the oil. Because like I said, there's 20% of the oil flow has stopped. So now you're talking about China, you're talking about Russia, okay, who's involved in that oil. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to do what they have to do to help Iran maintain what they're doing. So I mean, that's what I see. I'm not looking at all the other stuff. I'm looking past that, because at the end of the day, it's follow the money. You follow the money trail, then you see what's happening. And that's the only way that we're going to have to try to obliterate Iran I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna have to. There's gonna have to be more bombs dropped. They're gonna have to try to wipe them out in order to recoup from this war. That's what I see, and I don't think it's right to obliterate other people's lives. We went over there in the excuse of them killing protesters. Well, hell, we kill protesters here too. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, only God can.
So Neil, we have to remember some TikTok etiquette, and we have to think to say unalive, outside of the straight, K word. Okay, but we heard you. We got you. Yeah, no problem. We heard you. We got you. I think Raw was trying to say something, and then we may come to prophecy after that. Raw, were you trying to interject?
I was, and I have entered this building, so I'll make it kind of quick. My thought was, how do we, when we have a long-standing issue going on, because we have to go before 2026, and although dude was rude, I wish he wasn't being rude, because I think he was getting ready to lay out a good point. I hate that he, did that. Nevertheless, my thought is since we are moving forward with the conversations of what has happened and we're in the thick of it, in the midst of it, many people don't know the backstory. My thought is, how should we have handled that? Are there any better ideas? Because they're only going to let us see so much, but the backstory includes betrayal and deception. Money was sent in front of our faces that we could see, and then the whole plane of money that was sent over there later was it was a deceptive move, and our leaders across time have promised to do something about it. So what they were doing was, in our faces, they were saying, "Oh, we're going to handle this. Are we not going to let that slide? Are we going to address this?" They didn't keep their word, so now we got to do something. All the while, that's what they're telling us. All the while, they got their hands in it. So it's with the nuclear bombs and the oil and all that kind of stuff. But then we expedite or fast forward all the way up to today, and we have these heavy conversations. But we have to, if we're going to problem solve, not that we're going to be able to do much, but we can understand it better with conversation. We have to consider what has happened in order to understand where we are today. And I just want to share that if anybody have any better ideas, not that we're going to change anything, but it probably restore or get rid of some people's anxieties. That's all I wanted to share.
Okay. And one thing you did point out is that, there's some history here that either we're not considering or we don't know about. And one thing I found was that Operation Ajax, which, goes back to 1953, and also, coming to 1935 when the Persians changed their name to Iran. So being able to move from that time period up to now, there's a lot of information, within those time frames that speak a lot, to the relationships and interactions and things that have actually brought us to this day. So let's see, prophecy. Go ahead. What you want to add to the conversation? All right, prophecy going once, prophecy going twice.
Sorry, my mic was muted. I thought it was open. The fact that my thing with Seal Beater is, and I think he represents a vast number of supporters of Trump. The fact that America constantly breaks the commandments, the 10 commandments, which are the foundation of Christianity faith, right, is baffling. How can you say it is okay to invade weaker countries for their resources, which is theft? That's what it is. Point blank theft. Right?
If you're
Which
gonna
is
ask
go
me a
against the
question, I
foundational
hope
10 commandments. So how can you support that but yet say that the country is a Christian nation, but they pick and choose when they want to be morally standing and when they want to be Christian? I don't get that. And what moral standing you stand on in that it is okay to invade and steal and cause the unaliving of innocent people, whether it be few in numbers, whether it be one, or whether it be many? How? Help me understand.
Still Peter.
So, first, I never said that the United States was a Christian nation. Second, I find religious arguments to be weak and built on sand. Thirdly, I can justify, let's take Greenland or Venezuela for an example. I can justify invading them and taking their resources because we are more powerful. And if we don't, they could give those resources to another powerful enemy, say China, and then they can take those resources and then come and conquer us once they've exhausted those resources. Or we could take those resources and protect ourselves and ensure 1,000 years of prosperity for our grandchildren. So you do the math. Personally, to me, it's an easy equation.
Okay, thank you, Still Peter.
To
Were you
me,
done?
it's a morally
I just
bankrupt
wanted to say
equation.
that I wasn't really quite done. I just wanted to say that we are not a Christian nation. There is no prohibition against us acting like so, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's just weird that he's trying to make it sound like I agree that we're a Christian nation. I never said that. We're explicitly not.
I'll say this, Still Peter, and then we're gonna go to Logan, guys. But they do say, God bless America, and
Yeah, I'm sure they say the same in Iran. Well, they say Allah bless Iran. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, but that's just to respond to the whole Christian thing. But we got Logan on the stage. Logan, what you want to add to the conversation? If you're talking, Logan, you're on mute. All right, Logan.
Hello. As a grandson of 3 generations of military veterans, and my uncles, cousins, and brothers all have fought in these desert wars, and we've gotten nothing out of it. And like, we've gotten sent over there for nothing. We've died for nothing, and they've just been hollow promises. And even I forgot what country it is over there. The Kurds. Every time we went over there, we promised the Kurds Kurdistan. If they help us fight and get out these terrorist organizations, we'll give them the land of Kurdistan. And every time we go over there, we leave. They get nothing in return. They send their sons. We send our sons to die for a cause that we don't even know why. We don't know like the scope of the situation. And I'm just sick and tired of the government's lying to us, and I don't know, man. Sorry to ramble on.
Okay. Well, those are some pretty interesting, points with respect to being over there and the promises that have been made, and they're not too good, with delivering on, their promise. So let's see, who do we have that has not spoken in a while? Romeo, you've been kind of quiet. Did you want to add anything else, Romeo?
No, it's okay. Just allow the rest to speak. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. But yeah, as I look at this, guys, these may be things you all are already, familiar with. As of mid-March, the U.S. and Israeli war against Iran escalated into a regional conflict with intense bombardment of Tehran. These are things that, like I said, you all may be very much familiar, with. And it says, including a reported attack on a residential building in Manama, Bahrain. Now, I think it's interesting that they point out the attacks on the buildings that, happen as civilian attacks, but they really do try to hide it, when it comes to what, Israel may do or what the U.S., is doing. So those are just some interesting, dynamics, right there. But look, guys, we're trying to have this communication about the prime minister. Where is he? We're looking at the the fact that he's wanted by the International Criminal Court. And here it appears as if the U.S. is protecting him. So that will kind of make him a fugitive, I think. You know, somebody else may feel a little differently about that. And we really don't talk much about Iran's new leader. So, you know, just also wanting to understand what are people's thoughts about this new leader for Iran, seeing he lost a vast majority of his family to, I would say, U.S. and or Israeli conflict or harm. So his mindset and or his thought process really has to be different. It's like, if that was you, how would you look at it, right? But yeah, the floor is open, you know, at this point, if you guys wanted to respond to any of that, or if you wanted to bring out something new.
I don't know if anybody else wants to. I can go.
Go ahead, Sil Peter.
All right. So as far as the prime minister, it took me a second to know who you were talking about, but Bibi. I don't know
Yes.
if you can even say that name. I heard he's in Florida, actually.
Oh wow.
I know his son is there. As far as him being wanted by the ICC, I agree, but we're not a signatory. Like, we've kind of spat in the face of the International Court, so it's a safe place for him to be while his people get pummeled. As far as Iran's leader, the problem is that he's a hardliner, and this is where I am really sad as a Trump supporter, because Trump could have come back victorious. He could, like, they literally were willing to give everything. I gave an analogy of, like, he gave the honey buns, his shoes, and even his toothbrush. What else do you want from him? Oh, you want that? Well, he's going to fight now. And that's the position we've pushed Iran into, unwisely. We could have gotten their uranium, we could have gotten their enrichment, we could have had everything and said, hey, we won, we're the top deal makers, and introduced them back in. But because we're enthralled to another nation, we have gone against our national interests, and we've literally started a fire that I don't really see it going out. I don't see the off ramp. And that's it for me, I guess.
You know, one thing you did say is there's no respect for the ICC, the International Court. You say they spit, you know, in their face. And I don't know about you, but I kind of see the same thing as far as either the UN or international law. It's like they have no respect either for the UN or international law. And even going to the point where 47, he said when it came down to what could stop him and or based on his morality, he said that's the only thing that mattered, you know, to him, and nothing else, you know, would be a directive and or a change, would make a change within what he does. So, you know, there's no respect for no type of law as it pertains other than what comes out of his mouth type thing, which is different to have ran on what he considered to be, you know, law and order. So I just think that's different. We got William that just came up on the stage. William, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Yes, I agree with what you just said as far as you know, with the International Court and the United Nations. In fact, you know, I think the United Nations is embarrassing itself, because I don't see where they're convening and, you know, trying to, you know, put pressure on 90. Well, I don't know if I can say the countries, but to put pressure on the two countries that had started this conflict. I mean, you know, I'm
I mean, I don't really have any faith in the United Nations anyway, but I just see hypocrisy coming from them right now, just by them not really addressing what's going on. And this situation is spiraling more and more, out of control. And as far as the prime minister, I don't know, I mean, I find it strange that he's not in the public eye like he normally was. And as far as the Iranian leader, I think he's doing the right thing. He don't need to be in the limelight, or he don't need to be out there. I mean, because he's dealing with this situation. The intelligent thing for him to do is to lay low. He don't really need to be out there, in the public just to be seen for his adversaries to see him or whatever, possibly, which I don't even think that they even have the capability now to try to pinpoint him if they wanted to, because of the resources that they have lost as far as their radar and other intelligence gathering apparatuses and whatnot. So I just think the Iranians are being very, very tactical in, them dealing with this whole situation. And I do believe that at the end of this whole conflict, I don't think that that neither of the two countries are going to have the influence in the region that they had. I don't even, from what I've been observing and whatnot, and from the little that the Iranian government has been saying, is I think one of their missions out of this situation is that they're not going to allow the U.S. to have a presence in the Middle East in general. And I do think that, that with them, attacking Iran the way they did, I think Iran has had enough. And it's like, I think by the time this thing ends, that they're going to be more powerful in the region, because I don't think they're going to allow this to happen to them again.
I agree with you as far as them being more powerful, in the region, and also how it's to galvanize the Arab nations, because it basically says anybody is next. All right, we woo, you up on the stage? What you got? If you're talking we woo, you on mute.
Sorry about that. I just realized that I was muted there. What I have is, I'm not really sure, if it's right or wrong that what we're doing over there. But I know that the Persian people have been oppressed since 1979 by a religious leader. And no matter what religion it is, you look back through history, anytime a religious leader is in power, it's not good for the people in the country, the other people, the minorities. So do I want to put boots on ground? No. Do I want the Kurds to help the Persians free themselves from that? Yes, absolutely. Give them all the arms they need to defeat them. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but those people have been, they just killed 32,000 Iranians for protesting. How many people do we have in our streets getting killed for protesting? Not very many.
Okay. Thank you for your comment there, Wee Woo. We're gonna go to we got Marquel or Marq, and then okay, the other guy jumped off. We're gonna go to Marq or Mel Q.
Yeah. I would like to debate on the topic. I believe that we shouldn't be in Iran.
Okay, go ahead. You want
Yeah,
to speak on? Go ahead.
yeah. So what that other guy was saying about them killing protesters, um, there's like literally no proof, and all the sources are just the CIA, and it's literally just Zion. We're just trusting Israel and the CIA to tell us that they're killing their own protesters. So yeah, there's like really no proof, and we shouldn't really not be in Iran. Iran's like horrible. I don't know why we're in Iran. We're just fighting another one of Israel's wars, like we did in Libya, like we did and literally all of Israel's war. We fought them and funded them. So yeah, I'm just wondering if there's any opposition to what I said.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna hold off for a second. We got one more person, and then if somebody want to rebuttal you, they can. We got Noah Williams. Noah Williams, what you want to add to the conversation?
I would like to add to the conversation that I take offense of people having selective outrage for different people. Somebody spoke about some people in Iran and how they were being mistreated and unalived, but those same people have no empathy for those Palestinians that were unalived in that genocide. So that doesn't wash. These straw men just don't work with me. If you're going to be consistent in something, why not just be consistent in it? If you don't want to see genocide, then don't want it anywhere.
Okay. No, I have to remind you, this is TikTok, and you have to have a certain etiquette. I don't think you can say, that G side word on TikTok. You may get flagged, or you may have the cause the live to get interrupted, restricted, shut down. So we have to find another way to communicate or say what we want to say within certain terminology. Go ahead, finish your thought, Noah.
Okay, I was just saying that if it's not the same thing for one, it should be the same thing for the other, and for the same reason that each one of them is a number of people that are caught up in something that even they had no operation in. So that's what I was talking about. I took offense in that. That's it. I'm finished.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So right now we're going to open the floor just a little bit. Mel Q made some statements he thought somebody may want to speak to, or you guys may just have more that you want to add based on what you've heard. So the floor is open right now. Who would like to speak?
I was just going to say really briefly that I think that the reason we made this move is because the nation that shall not be named knew that the support for it was dwindling among the American public. I think Mailform was saying something about there's another nation that's forcing us to do this. It's not in our interest, etc. And I agree. I think most MAGA who voted for Trump, we didn't vote for this. We want to take care of ourselves here at home. We don't want to engage in yet another adventure in the Middle East that doesn't bring the American people anything. It only benefits one nation, and it ain't us.
And I would like to just
Go ahead.
ask a question. Who's going to rebuild? Who's going to rebuild that country once all this is over? And
I can
I'm
answer
talking
that.
about excuse me?
I can answer that for you.
Okay, hold on for you answer, Mal Q. I do want to say this, you guys, be very mindful. Again, as we're talking about that, because I'm telling you, they're very sensitive. I want you all to be able to speak your thoughts, but for whatever reason, we have to be strategic in certain things that we're trying to say, because they'll flag you for misinformation. Although we know what we know, we've read, what we've read. So just be tactful in how you say what you say. Go ahead, Mal Q.
Yeah, so because we already know that the war in Iran right now is costing us, it's costing the American taxpayer $1 billion a day. After we're done in Iran, either there's going to be a regimes change, or the operation just completely fails. Which this, if they do bring Reza Pahlavi's son back into power as their leader, or the Shah, or whatever, or whoever is really elected that is pro-US and pro-Israel. Oh, so pro the blue state. I feel like it would be the U.S. taxpayer that will be rebuilding the country, and they're gonna see Iran as a new ally, because there's gonna be a regime change, which is just horrible in my opinion. We should not be.
I'm not talking.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Iran.
Oh, what are you talking about?
The other country.
What other country? The blue country?
Exactly.
Oh, the blue country? Oh, we already fund them. The blue country, we built them. We built their entire military, everything. So yeah, if you don't know, people that live in the blue country actually get free healthcare. They get free college. They get free. They got a lot of stuff for free. We pay for a lot of the privileges that we don't even have. So yeah, instead of I think we sent them like $500 billion through Trump's administration. He signed. I think most recently when he first went back into his presidency, he sent them like $100 billion. I'm pretty sure for defense and whatever against the H group. Although the H group, bro, they're like cooked. They're like in the grounds right now. I don't know why Israel needs $100 billion. So yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys. We got somebody new that come up on the stage. Ben Adamu. What you want to add to the conversation, Ben Adamu? All right, Ben Adamu, if you're talking, you on mute. Ben Adamu.
Okay, Benadamu Bora.
Oh, okay, go ahead. What you want to add to the conversation?
Okay, first of all, we're in a conflict that we cannot win. I've been in the Middle East in Qatar, and I have family and friends in those areas. But we're wasting our time there. We're fighting a war that we're not gonna win. The terrain is very mountainous. They have undergrounds. Hello?
Sorry about that. You got to mute it. Wee Woo. Sorry about that.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, and I know we got to watch what kind of terminology we use so you don't get flagged. They have underground cities. Those cities are under the mountains. We have no weapon that can stop that. That's why the war is lasting, and the conflict is lasting more than 2 days, 14 days. It's going to continue. That's why the strait is cut off. Nobody can get oil but China, because that's the agreement that they have, a BRICS agreement. And it's really BRICS versus NATO. That's what this whole thing is about. It's not really about all oil, because the energy sector is changing. You have rare earth minerals and rare earth elements that are very, very extremely valuable, as well as gold. And we do know an ounce of gold is way more worth than 1 barrel of oil. So it's not really about the oil. We have oil here. We have other means of energy as electrical vehicles and whatnot. So we don't want to get caught up on that. But there are some investors that invested into these rare earth elements, which Venezuela have, and Greenland, and Iran, as well as China, and a lot of the other BRICS nations. If we lose the petrodollar, the new currency that they established for the BRICS nations will be the new world currency, as well as a new world order. So what this war is about is dominance. Who is going to be the new world leaders or leader of planet Earth, which means United States, our country, is fighting for supremacy. Our dollar is in trouble. The treasury bonds, which upholds that dollar, everybody's been dumping them. So that means United States has to buy them back. When you do buybacks, that means you inherit more debt. That means debt that is not paid because you're the person that bought it or invested into it says, hey, I don't want it. So yeah, Russia dumped them. China dumped the treasury bonds. They sold them to Japan. Now Japan is dumping them. So we're in a world of hurt. So the stock market looks pretty because our 401ks is what they're using to beef it up every week. But and to the biggest facade on that is that companies have been closing in the U.S. So if your stock market's going up, why are companies closing? So you got to answer, you got to look at it. Wow, is it a Ponzi scheme? Well, yes, it is. So what we need now is a distraction to try to go take oil, or say we're taking oil or controlling oil for the sake of the petrodollar. Well, that's what the dollar is built upon. It was built upon agreement with the Middle East that the oil from the Middle East would back that dollar. So taking out the oil fields and all that didn't help the dollar. That hurts the.
Okay. All right, been a move. We got your point, right there. Just hold on, for a second. And I did want to address one thing I think William was trying to say about a rebuilding process. And I know, again, this is just a real touchy subject about Palestine and, it being rebuilt and rebuilt by who, repurposed, for what. Will these people get to go back, into that area as a homeland, or will it be turned, into some other, Bridgeport, or, what are they doing with it? And there's a lot of speculation, and should we talk about it, we need to speak about it, from that standpoint. But I think that's what you were asking, William, when you were talking about who's going to pay to rebuild over there. Am I correct, or not?
Well, no, actually, I was asking the question in reference to who's going to rebuild the blue and white state.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the state of Israel. Who's going to rebuild that state?
Exactly, because see, I'm just trying to be. I don't want to cause your channel no problem. So
I
I
got
know,
Yeah.
I know certain channels you can't use that word or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right. So
So
it's
yeah,
like it's like what he said. At this point, we fund, we fund them in everything, that they do. So, they're pretty good, as far as with rebuilding and getting what they need, from the side. I mean, they're so good that we give them money to then turn around and buy the public officials, within the standing of this government through lobbying and other measures, that they do. So, I mean, I think they're straight, from
oh
your
yeah,
standpoint.
yeah. I agree 100%. I mean, I know that, but I was just wondering if uh well, I was just throwing the question out there just for the average American public, for them to realize that it's going to be U.S. tax dollars that's going to rebuild that country after all this is over. Because I know they've been downplaying it in the media and everything, but they've taken some substantial damage over there, and uh, pretty much all of their major cities and whatnot. And you know, long term effect, whenever this thing is settled or whatever, then here American taxpayers are going to be footing the financial responsibility to put that place back together.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
I know they have the influence,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
everything. I know. And not only that, they own the Federal Reserve Bank.
Uh-oh,
So
watch out.
therefore,
Watch out now. Hold on, William. We're gonna put a pin in it, right there, because they gonna deny that allegation and say that's misinformation. So I hear what you're saying. All right, but we're gonna stick a pin, in that one right there, and open the floor up and see if anybody else got
I
something they want to add to the conversation
I
here.
can't interject on William's concern.
Go ahead.
Okay, my niece, I had family that lived in Tel Aviv, but I put it to you this way: 1942 is a construct. Okay, the ish part, it means to be similar to the truth, to the reality. Okay, it doesn't mean you are the reality. The ones that will be rebuilding that area, it can be sad to say to the ones that are dreaming or thinking about or hoping for that what's going to be rebuilt over there will be rebuilt by the new brick structure. China right now is doing a lot of rebuilding in Africa in infrastructure. So there's a lot of things already in line. The war, the conflict is putting a stop to those plans, to the Western plans, okay, and to the constructs plan. So everything is going to go back to the original people as China and Russia and other BRICS partners, they did make it known publicly that they said colonization will come to an end, and that the lands will go back to all the indigenous people of those lands. So the pipe dreams and plans that everybody had, Western plans, those are going bye-bye. Iran has made it publicly known that no U.S. bases will be there anymore. And China is backing Iran as well as Russia, two other nuclear powers, as well as Palestine, another nuclear power. And then you got North Korea. Okay? So those powers right there, that's quite a lot for NATO even to contend with. So we know the plan, Western plans, that won't be in existence for that region anymore. Iran has made that public, and they're carrying out, they're backing up what they're saying, even on to this day.
So we got somebody new on the stage, and I did want to say, as far as the colonization, as you said, that's coming to an end. I just want to bring everyone's attention to a movement within the UN that's been in effect since the 60s called decolonization. And if you're not familiar with it, you all should be familiar with it. And I just want to say we're very active here in America with promoting that concept and positioning ourselves to even decolonize right here in America. And normally on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we'll have that discussion, even further, going through the resolutions that, support it and the different treaties. So if you all are interested in understanding more about that concept, decolonization, yes, do come back on Wednesday night. So Azula, did you want to add something to the conversation?
No, I just saw the prompt, and I would just like to say there is a prime minister, but he has 6 fingers, as far as I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, there's a prime minister. Obviously, he's not showing up. They're putting up AI videos. that even the platform of Elon Musk confirms. I mean, it's cringe at this point. Who are they taking for fools? And the worst thing is, um, the media. I'm not taking the social media, but the media is just protecting something unprotectable. It's like weird. It's just saying like a frog is a bunny, and then everybody should believe that. It's so. I mean, I don't have words at this point. It's just completely crazy. That's my take.
You know, the question then goes based on the International Court, as we said, they have brought charges up against the Prime Minister Netanyahu. And would that make him a fugitive? And would that then say that the U.S. is actively protecting a fugitive? And then they have so many laws like against, dealing with people of that magnitude, or ones that they what they call them, enemies, against.
To be honest, I would take it a step further and say they're completely complicit. Although, if you want to know honestly, the U.S. administration and the U.S. government has been compromised for over 70 years. And that's
Okay.
just the truth.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to comment and or add anything to the discussion here?
To go back onto what he was talking about the BRICS dollar, and he was absolutely right. I mean, once that situation went through with the BRICS dollar over there, we did go in panic mode uh, because it would cost us $55 to every dollar to buy the minerals and stuff. So it was like it did take the power of our dollar uh, out of the control of the world, because everybody had to use our dollar. It was like, you go somewhere and you get our dollar, you got more for our dollar. So that came to an end. And like you said, the Persian Canal, that's done. So it's like, man, look, it's like this. Who runs everything? Let's put it like that, okay? Everybody talk about the Israel, whatever. Well, who runs everything? Who runs the entertainment business? Who runs everything? All right. I mean, so you got to look at that. All right. So that's why we're involved. Okay. Because the BRIC dollar scared everybody. Okay. You lose it. They're losing lots and lots of money. And we're talking about higher up. There's some numbers that you could say like 33, but people above that. You understand that? Like, let me put it like this. Like, we all know what it's about. It's all about, it's a religious war going on. Okay. Uh, um, it's good against evil. Their Bible says they're going to take over the world, where our Bible says us we waiting for someone to come and we going to meet him in the air. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can understand where I'm heading with this, you know what I mean? It's like it's a demon war. Okay, it's the devil. Let's just put it like that. Okay, that's what we're up against. Okay, and they'll come straight out and tell you that the Bible that they have is not our Bible. Okay, so once you understand that once Russia and all them put together that BRICS thing, now they understand the truth. They know the religion. They know the real Yahusha, and they over there, those countries, they know the truth. We were lied to. We were tricked because it was the demons here that fooled everyone. Okay, so once the veil come off of your face, okay, they tricking us with this war, the military stuff, and everything, bro. Let me tell you something. We all got to wake up, because it's bigger than what we think. And man, listen, I want to appreciate you letting me come up. Uh, uh, it's good panel. You run a good panel, man. I appreciate it. I'll sit there and I waited my turn, and it was like other people to try to interrupt. You didn't stand for it. I appreciate that, man. And next time I see you up here, I'm going to appreciate if you bring me back up, my brother. Really do. Really good discussion, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. All right, anybody wanted to add to what was said or bring out a
Yes.
new point?
Yes, I would.
Go
As
ahead.
an ordained minister,
Hey,
religion. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Religion and politics are a construct used by the elite. As he mentioned, Yeshua, none of the disciples or the followers preach religion. They taught the ways of life and taught being one with existence, not defiling one another, but treating everyone with love and respect and honor, and not the honor of one another. Iran is not, they're not aggressors. They didn't attack us. They haven't attacked anyone. And just like our own neighborhood, we got to first pluck the mote out of our own eye and the beam out of our own eye to see clearly to pluck it out of someone else's. Let's look at our backyard before we try to look at someone else's and point the finger at someone else's backyard. Our backyard got a lot of problems. It's a lot of racism. It's crime is high. I've been overseas in several countries. I've been completely, literally around planet Earth. Literally, 360 degrees around.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We got somebody new up on the stage, but let me reset the stage here for a second. I want to let you guys know it don't cost anything to tap the screen. All right, we got a whole lot of people, in this room. You guys are doing real good within, your comments, the Daily Heart Me. It is up there. Make sure you repost the live. You all make sure you share the live. So a lot of thoughts, have come out centered around the conflict between Iran, U.S., and Israel. So we have been asking, like, where is the Prime Minister Netanyahu? We have looked at the point of fact that the Prime Minister is a wanted criminal from the International, World Court, which brings to point, is the U.S. protecting a fugitive, right? And then we don't seem to want to talk too much about Iran's new leader. Like that's one of the least most expressed topics or conversations, on the panel. Is it because no one really knows, anything about him? So I'm gonna open the floor back up and let Rodney, Rodney, go ahead, say what you want to say, Rodney. If you're talking, Rodney, you're on mute. All right, Rodney going once. Okay, guys, Rodney going twice. All right, William, sound like you wanted to add something to the conversation. What did you want to say, William?
Well, I'll just say this about the Iranian prime minister, whatever. They're a very private society. Even before this whole situation developed, Iran pretty much stayed to itself. How it governs its people or whatever, they do it. But they have a established society. They have an established culture. So again, this new prime minister, I mean, because they're in a conflict environment right now, it's only right that they protect him. So, you know, he's not getting out there, you know, like Trump and, you know, got to constantly be on the mic and, you know, speaking to the people, whatever. You know, I think the dad is sitting back. Uh, I think he's just sitting back with his government, you know, and whatnot, and they're making the plans and implementing the things that they need to do, you know, to maintain their sovereignty and to defend themselves. So I think it's a smart move that we really not hearing nothing about.
I think you meant the new Ayatollah, and I think you may have said the prime minister, the new prime
Yeah, I'm
minister.
sorry. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I
I'm
think you're
sorry.
talking
That's who I meant.
Okay, no problem. Rodney, did you want to come off your mic now? I saw you come off. Rodney Jean Pierre. Going once. Rodney Jean Pierre. Going twice. All right, we're just going to take Rodney off the stage. If you want to come back up, Rodney, you can come back up later, but I ain't got time for it, you know, right now. All right, so, yeah, you guys, when it comes to the new leader for Iran, the Ayatollah, it's understood that he lost a great deal of his family, you know, due to conflict between Israel and the U.S. So he doesn't have any empathy, sympathy, you know, definitely no love. And in the weeks back, we were looking at why they always say DEATH, you know, to Americans. And I just was trying to point out to people, they didn't just wake up, you know, one day and figured they just wanted to start chanting something like that to us. It's like something happened. And if we're honest, we would do our due diligence to really try to understand what is it, you know, that happened. And that's when I brought out the Operation Ajax and said folks really should, you know, do some research into that. So we got, who is this? False Flag just came up on the stage. False Flag, what you want to add to the conversation? If you're talking False Flag, you're on mute. All right, False Flag going once. False Flag going twice. I don't understand why these folk come up on the stage and can't find their. There you go. Go ahead,
I
False
don't know
Flag.
what you. Yeah, you mentioned Operation Ajax. That's very good.
Go
A
ahead. Which
lot of
one? Conversation. Go ahead.
a lot of people don't know about Operation Ajax.
All right, tell us about it.
Well, Mohammad Mossadegh was the Iranian prime minister, and he wanted to nationalize the oil. And British Petroleum said no. So they organized a coup, and they got rid of him. And that's why this all happened. Do you hear me?
I hear you. I mean, there's history to support
There
what's
is.
expressed.
There is. I just wanted to say, is BB still alive or is he dead?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Where is the prime minister? Where is he?
I know. I actually think he's dead.
Mm.
And it would be quite ironic because he started this war, and if he's dead, he can rot in hell.
Okay, hold on. We gotta be real. We gotta be
Sorry.
real. You know, we gotta be cautious about certain terminology we use. This
I
is
apologize.
okay. All right, hold on one second. We got Spanish chocolate that just came up on the stage. That sounds like a dancer name, Spanish chocolate. Uh, sound like you came out the Eddie Murphy movie, Sexy Chocolate. What you want to say, Spanish Chocolate?
Joe, I want to elaborate on everything, man.
Go ahead.
I'm seeing what taking place. It's like people, like the black people in America and stuff like that, of what we went through with slavery and everything like that, and we fought for voters' rights and everything like that. So America always plays the bully and always try to go somewhere and just like take over and just command what they want people to do. Like if they feel that people are not operating right, they just be like, oh, we're gonna put our people in office over there, take over, we're gonna run how we wanted to run their country. And people are not like really like satisfied with that. It's like you just like invading other people's countries and do it, and you're gonna just put Americans in there and try to just take over and manipulate people and sanction this, sanction that, and the people are not like comfortable with that no more. The people are waking up and they seeing what America is really about.
Yeah. And if they're just now waking up, they've been asleep, for a good little time, I guess, because America has been doing what America has been doing since America has been America.
Yeah, it took me a long time as well to catch on to a lot of things too. I was blind. I was blinded for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
To
I
the
guess
ideology and everything, and now brothers like you, enlightening us, and then I go on other platforms and listen to how people talk and certain things what they say. You feel me? They always write everything into law too. If you notice that, everything get rid of whatever they want to do is try to control. They write it
they,
to
they put it into statute. They don't really put it into law. They put it into statute, or they may create it, to be some sort of an act. And I like to bring people's attention, like on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's really when we deal with subject matter centered around civics, decolonization, and we point out when they talk about these statutes, you have a standard within the office of the Attorney General where they say they don't check the laws to see if they're constitutional or not. They just act on them based on how they're written, and they just assume that these statutes are constitutional. But if no one checks it and or brings out a unconstitutional point, they say they just keep riding, off of it as if, it's an okay thing. And I just think that's weird because people are under the impression that these people are checking, this stuff. So I want to thank you all for being with me today, coming up on the panel as we can talk about this. Y'all come back on Wednesday night.
All right. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you.
If I could just say, it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm saying that the stage is going to be open. I do these pop-ups here and there, but on Wednesday night, you all come back and we're going to do our regular scheduled live, and we're going to be focused on decolonization. We're going to read the resolutions from the UN. We're going to go through some of the other treaties, and we're going to look at a international movement that's not getting, much media coverage, but it's a real thing. And we need to really look at it even right here in America as people are still trying to reclaim autonomy and deal with self-determination, as we have instruments of this government claiming to want to provide certain rights and democracy for people, across the water. Well, we demand that, right here in these United States of America. So I appreciate you guys, everybody that's been on the stage, your comments, your thoughts. For those that have tapped the screen, the daily heart me, all of the comments, the reposting, and the sharing. So, until the next time we come live, you all be safe out there. I appreciate you.